When I think of the term preserved railway, typically one comes to mind before anything else, and that is the Talyllyn, a narrow gauge railway in Wales that also inspired the entirety of the Skarloey. That aside, however, what also makes this railway so special is the fact it was the first preserved railway in the entire world. The line itself was made in the 1860s, partly to service a slate quarry and the other half a passenger service. Before preservation, however, the railway would sadly find itself in a constant state of decline. By the time the 1950s rolled around, the then owner had unfortunately passed, and the railway itself faced foreclosure. That being said, only one part of the entire line found itself in a perilous state, and this would attract the attention of author Tom Rault, who already was famous for kickstarting the preservation of Britain's inland waterway systems. Quickly formed a new preservation society, and in a joint enterprise with the former owner's estate, the line itself was saved, and soon after would commence operation. Now at this point the country was still reeling from economic effects of the Second World War. There was little to no infrastructure for a group of enthusiasts rescuing a near-derelict railway. It was something nobody had done before. There was no body of expertise, let alone a part supplier if they ever needed one. Volunteers would instead initiate a make-do-and-mend mentality, and basically build themselves out of any issue they may encounter. But looking at 7 miles of track with a single locomotive that at this point was barely serviceable, this would not be an easy task. Maintaining the entire railway with a single locomotive just didn't seem ideal, and for what they needed at the time, Talyllyn just wasn't gonna do it. So what do you do if you don't have a locomotive? The Talyllyn volunteers decided to make one, and that they certainly did, taking a former Model T engine and the transmission from Tom Rault's boat. These then were mated to the wheels of a Talyllyn slate wagon, and this created the Talyllyn's first number 5, the Lawnmower, which got the name from the sound it made during operation. Now, understandably, more people are familiar with Midlander, the current number 5, as opposed to David Cohen's funnily named smaller engine. And there is a reason for that. The locomotive itself didn't last very long. Though I'm not exactly sure what it was, Lawnmower only ran in one speed in either direction. But despite this, would still be used to haul equipment or goods. It even worked a Fridays-only winter passenger service until 1953. While pulling the market train, her engine would happen to seize up. She was taken out of service with a failed gearbox. In 1954, the locomotive was dismantled, then converted into flat wagon number 19. It is proposed to be rebuilt, however, this as a memorial to David Cohen, using a replacement engine and bodywork. At the time of its build, the chief mechanical engineer of the Talyllyn, John Bate, was unsure why it was even built. At about the same price with a lot less effort, they could have just bought a Ruston, and when Midlander came about, he was proven right. Even still, however, and despite the fact there's not a lot of info about it around, the Talyllyn's first attempt at number 5 is something that really fascinates me. It may have been a mechanical mess, but still helped to save the railway. I also can't imagine the effort the volunteers put in to even make this thing, but the fact they did is something notable in itself. To look at the parts they had and still go, we can do this, it's nothing but inspirational. All of its shortcomings aside, it's still a locomotive I appreciate very much, and hopefully now you guys will a bit more as well. Now, this part's a bit more off, I guess. It doesn't really have to do with Lawnmower's history, but recently I had the privilege of modeling such in 009. If you saw my last video, you'll know this is a kit from Westcliff Works, and this was a model I jumped on immediately. I was actually planning this video and was hoping to have it done to reveal it side by side. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, and here's the Lawnmower in her tiny Talyllyn cuteness. It wears a 5 that is very inaccurate to the actual Talyllyn, but fits in with my other Skarloey and 009 models, so get over it. And also, sadly, at this point is not powered since I don't have a Kato Portrum chassis. It does free roll amazingly, however, so sadly for now it'll likely be hauled behind other engines, but with minor editing that'll be hard to tell. So with all of that being said, let's see this dude in action. If you guys want a separate video on the entire build process of this model, be sure to comment down below and let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for even more train content. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons for making videos and projects like this possible. If you want to see videos or models early, be sure to check that out too. And as always guys, thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.
God damn it.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.